So let me start off by saying that the book Body by Science by Dr. Doug McGuff and John Little is probably one of the best books on the subject of exercise ever written. But the community that resulted from this book has some major issues in their beliefs when it comes to exercise. And I think a lot of the reason this happened is because most of the Body by Science community hasn't even actually read the book cover to cover. Not only have they clearly not understood the concepts outlined in the book, they likely haven't even read it. So if you're going to read Body by Science, obviously read it in its entirety and read it several times, because then you'll be able to actually fully comprehend the principles outlined in this book. For high intensity training practitioners and people with experience, these are very basic principles to us. But to the layman, most people picking up this book, these are pretty complicated topics. So make sure you read it fully. One huge problem that the Body by Science high intensity training community has is their set in stone belief about exercise volume and frequency. Earlier today, I posted a video on Instagram of a superset combination of an incline press and a chest fly. Many or some of the Body by Science community members made a point that they were confused why I was doing more than one exercise per muscle group. And this is because the Body by Science community believes that for optimal results, you should be doing the Big 5 workout that is outlined in the book. Even though in the first paragraph of the chapter, The Big 5 in Body by Science, Doug McGuff clearly states that the Big 5 is a starting point. It is your foundation. That by no means means that the Big 5 is going to result in optimal improvements in body composition, muscular strength and size, and all of the general trainable factors of functional ability. Most people can and should be doing more volume and more frequency in their workouts. Something like a Big 5 workout will be adequate for somebody who is very experienced in using high intensity training principles in their workout and able to inroad very deeply. Somebody like Doug McGuff with 20 plus years of training experience using these principles will benefit from a brief workout of just a handful of exercises, because his ability to fatigue his muscle tissue is extremely good because of the huge amount of practice he's had doing this over the years. For the average individual, you are almost certainly not training with a high enough level of effort to make 5 workouts, 5 exercises once a week optimal. Most people should be adding additional exercises for the lumbar spine, the abdominals, the calves, the forearms, even the biceps and triceps. This is why I posted a superset, is because most people will not be generating a very high level of intensity, even though they think they are, and most people can tolerate more volume and will benefit from more volume. Like I say all the time, if I were personally instructing you one-on-one, your volume requirements or tolerance would be far less. But since most people are training on their own using these principles, they can and should be using more volume and especially more frequency. So the principles outlined in Body by Science are without a doubt, correct. But people have taken some of the principles, especially with volume and frequency, and turned it into almost dogma. So anytime they see somebody doing more than one exercise per muscle group, they have a meltdown and get confused because that's not what the book says to do. Here's the thing. Even if you just felt like doing an extra exercise for a muscle group, it's not going to prevent improvements in muscle strength and muscle size. To even consider that the body was that specific and that complicated is insane. You literally could just throw in an exercise here and there if you felt like doing it, and it would not prevent your growth. It would not result in overtraining, especially for the vast majority of people using this protocol who are not even training intensely. So the Big Five is a good starting point, but do not, most of you, unless you are under the supervision of a qualified instructor, do 5 exercises, one set of each exercise, once a week. Sure, that is going to, in almost all cases, give you good results for a deconditioned, untrained individual. But if you are looking for optimal results, which I believe many of you are, right? Like if you were, a 75-year-old woman who just wanted to reduce the effects of sarcopenia and just generally enhance overall physical capacity, then yeah, maybe 5 exercises once a week is enough for you. But most of you are using this protocol to get in better shape. You should be doing more. Unless you are, again, under the direct supervision of a qualified high-intensity training instructor, you should be doing more frequency, maybe 2 to even 3 workouts per week, in more than 5 exercises. You will definitely see better results than doing just 5 exercises once a week. I've supervised over 15,000 sessions, and through my records, most of the people who train twice a week receive far better results than those who trained once. This will also come down to your fiber type distribution. People who have more of a or more slow twitch fiber dominant can handle a little more volume and will benefit from more volume, sometimes even more than one set. Conversely, if you have more fast twitch dominant muscle fibers throughout your body, you're going to only be able to tolerate a handful of exercises in many cases. Again, but this also goes along with how much experience you have, how the intensity of effort, etc. So if you have read Body by Science, realize that the Big Five is merely a starting point, and you can and ought to add more volume to that workout, and you should be doing it more frequently for optimal results. If you are an individual who just wants very basic, general, overall improvement in physical health, once a week done very hard will work. But like most, if you're looking for the best results, you're going to have to do more. If you want more detailed tips on applying high-intensity training principles, join my Patreon page, which there's going to be a slide at the end of this video to show you with the link. If you want even more detailed coaching, email me at biofitny@gmail.com. That email is going to be provided at the end of the video as well. And I can personally take you through and explain these principles to you, create a workout for you as the individual that will work for you as the individual, and also a diet guide based on your goals. Be sure to follow me on Instagram _J_Vincent. And please like and subscribe to this channel for more science-based, no BS fitness tips and workouts.